With Vikram Vij in the kitchen here at BT. What are we going to make this morning?
Namaste.
Namaste.
The local prawn festival is just finished.
Spot prawns?
I think we should definitely pay homage to this beautiful bounty of the ocean that we have.
I agree with you.
And a sustainable bounty of the ocean, which is very, very important. So we're going to make some local spot prawns. I'm going to use the ingredients from India, which are obviously my Indian spices, which are right here. Coriander, a little chili, turmeric, cumin seeds. We're going to use some coconut milk, little tomatoes.
I wish you had smell-o-vision.
This is the leaf. Break it down. Smell it.
Oh.
It smells like curry.
It does smell like curry.
Yeah, and it has really nothing to do with curry. It's just a curry leaf. It gives that really beautiful flavors to it.
You've just taught me something. I didn't know a curry leaf existed.
Right. So one of the key things about Indian food is, caramelization of the onions. You know how the French love to sweat their onions? We like to actually cook the hell out of them.
Give them some brown.
Yeah,
bring out their sugars.
Exactly. So bring out the little flavors of it. Once the onions are nice and brown, I'm going to add a little bit of green chili, tomatoes, balsamic vinegar, coconut milk, green onions, and all these spices. The beautiful part about these spices is that it doesn't have to be exact.
Right.
They can be a little bit of this, a little bit of that. They can be very whimsical. And I think that's the most beautiful part about Indian cooking, is that it's like a little democracy on a plate.
Oh.
Doesn't really matter how exact it is, as long as you're having fun at it.
And it is delicious. You know what? We're going to build this beautiful dish with Vikram Vij. You can cook live with Vikram Vij. There's the website for it. Don Chubey is going to be tweeting and fielding questions on this, so we'll talk more about it. We're going to do an entire segment with them coming up in just a few minutes, and you're going to want to make a list because you can cook along with Vikram Vij. It doesn't get better than that. We're back in a moment here on Breakfast Television. Love the caramelized onion.
Yeah.
You voted. You said you would like to see a cooking segment this week on Indian food, and who better to bring that forward than the man who really has introduced it on such a level.
My pleasure.
In our foodie market. Talk about bringing your cultural flavors to the masses.
I'm honored to be here. I wanted to bring the awareness of my cuisine and my culture up. Being an Indian, I know the spices. I was very comfortable with them. And one of the things that I wanted to do was not just that people go out and just eat butter chicken and chicken tikka masala, that there is a little bit more complexity to it. Our spices have so many unique flavors. They have medicinal value to them. And so having veggies, which was a great idea from my point of view, to have a restaurant, and then have Rangoli, which is a takeaway kind of a place. And then the idea of bringing awareness up. So now that we have our packaged meals that are available at really great stores like Save On Foods.
Speak to those a little bit, because it makes it accessible to people who are fearful of going in the kitchen, period. Like, these are easy to prepare and delicious.
Exactly. They're home-cooked meals. They have no preservatives in them. The chicken in there, has had a great life and one bad day.
Well put.
And, so the lamb and everything else, and they're freshly homemade dishes, and
yes.
they're not cooked for any other purpose other than that's the way how I would like to eat. Yeah. That's how they're flavored. I still have an auntie at the back who puts a spoon in the back and tastes and says, oh yeah, I think it needs a little bit more cilantro, or it needs a little bit more chili. So there are home-cooked meals. Obviously Save On Food carries them, Whole Foods carries them, Stong's. Most of the gourmet stores in Lower Mainland carry them.
Worth popping into Rangoli, though, and just sample it out here and then go in there and just grab some. Delicious. Right. And, of course, going into Vij's restaurant, you have a new location that you're opening as well?
On Cambie Street. So we bought a piece of land on Cambie Street. So Vij's is going to be moving to the new location. Where Vij's is right now will be a new concept of ours.
Can you give us a hint?
I can't.
Okay. You'll come back and tell us when it's
Absolutely.
time? Okay, you make the announcement. Let's talk about what we're doing here. Spot prawn
Right.
curry.
So I started the curry. The masala is made. You can obviously see it. You can smell it. The last part of it is going to be a little bit of coconut milk that goes in there. The French love using a little bit of whipping cream at the end to deglaze their pans a little bit, whereas the Indians, or especially the South Indians, love using coconut milk. So look at the color, the vibrancy of it.
It's beautiful.
This is something that you can make beforehand, keep it, and as your friends come over, you can use some either prawns, or you can use halibut, or you can even use vegetables if you want.
Right.
Or you can even use chicken. It's a really delicious comfort food.
Base.
Style of cooking, but still with a lot of love and passion behind it.
Now, love and passion is what we're going to see on your live cook-along.
Yes.
This evening, 6 p.m., Vij's.ca. Vikram.ca is where you get the information on what you need to buy today, and then you log on at 6 o'clock tonight and literally will cook along with this man as he is preparing. You're doing a chicken curry, right?
Yes, so we're doing something similar style, coconut chicken curry, and the idea of bringing and cooking along with me is that you'll be able to tell me and tweet and say, oh my God, I burnt my onions. Because most of the people get intimidated by, like, what do I do with the spices?
Yes.
If you're not somebody who's comfortable with, if you're not grown up with those, this can be quite an intimidating thing. It's like, okay, when do I add the cumin? When do I? And the cooking Indian food is layers, right? When you add the cumin, when you add the cloves, when you add the cinnamon. It's not like you just put everything in there because the curry tastes a little bit heavy in that sense.
Right.
So that timing is what you're going to learn tonight at the end. Is that little timing of it, and it'll be in actual time, and you'll be able to actually sit down afterwards and eat with your family.
And you know it's going to taste as good as Vikram can make it taste, because Danshu Bay is going to be hosting the live cook along this evening at 6 o'clock and taking those tweets, and she'll be on top of it. That social media goddess that she is going to be there making it all happen. But it's important to get the ingredients, and that's what we get at your website right now.
Exactly. So all the ingredients that you need for tonight at 6 o'clock are on the website. You can go, you can prepare, and you can cook. The other thing I really want to do, emphasize, is that eating together. As families, we must eat together. Even if you're not talking to somebody on the table, but at least just sit down with that person and just have fun.
Turn the electronics off.
Just the electronics off. Just sit there, relax, talk. Just find out about how was your school today, sweetheart? How was your day today? What happened today? Just sometimes when you just talk to people, I think it just kind of gets that emotions out, and people are able to relax a little bit. And food becomes not like a point where, you know, it is not like, oh my God, I must talk about food. It just becomes a carrier of conversations.
It's part of the deal. We are going to take a break and come back. I'm going to taste this. I'm going to get Riaz in here and wrap up the show. Cook Live with Vikram Vij. Don't be intimidated by these spices. They're available at all of your stores. He just sets them up in such a beautiful way. The spices are right there. You know what they look like.
You know,
so you get in there, Riaz, you give it a try. It's the spot prawn curry made by Vikram Vij here. And you did your live cook along, the first one in Toronto.
Yeah, we did the first one live in Toronto, and guess what? 10,000 people were following us.
Cooking along live with you.
Cooking along, typing, and and tweeting and telling us what they were doing. And it was an incredible feeling. And then I got so many emails from people saying, oh my God, this is so delicious, we loved it. And they would had so much fun. Everybody, families and everybody else was sitting together and enjoying. That's what happened.
Tonight's is going live from Vancouver, 6 p.m. Are you okay?
Wow, that packs a punch.
I don't think Riaz can.
It's good though.
I haven't tasted it yet. Do you think you can go on while we taste?
Yeah, we'll go on.
So make sure
I love it every time you come on.
Vikrams.ca. Go there now, get the ingredients. Oh, all right. You go get some water, yeah.
Vikram's like, shame. You're
I know, I'm
Indian.
totally.
You should be all about the spice. You want anything to drink, Vic? Get some water.
I'm fine. I can handle heat like this.
He's so disappointed in me right now. Joe, what do you think?
That's perfect.
It's not spicy.
Not spicy.
Oh.
Megji, really?
Do we have a fire extinguisher in the house?
Might need one next time. We should plan ahead. Tomorrow. Vikram.
I would call that mild to medium.
Yeah, it's not spicy at all.
Did you get a pepper or something?
It's on fire.